I'm gonna plumb in my Aire Jacks 4 play, so I'm just setting it up with pipe dope, joint compound, and just gonna put a little on. These already have some thread saver or whatever that is that came on these. These are metal Aire fittings, METTLE. I think I got them off eBay. But I'm going to put a little pipe dope on everything and install it. It says not to use Teflon tape, and I'm going to take all these back out and put some of this pipe dope on so that everything is nice and sealed up. The Teflon tape, they say not to use the Teflon tape so it doesn't get stuck in the valves. So I'm going to listen to their warning and do it accordingly. To start and try and keep it from being too messy, put the plug on the tool and then take the joint compound, spread it around. It's probably a little bit more than necessary. We want all the threads covered up. And wipe it off. Try and get the excess off of there. And then get it started. Doesn't have any resistance. Right there at the end, it's starting to get a little bit of resistance. Just want it to be flush. I'll wipe everything down. Once we get done, I'll wipe all the excess off. But again, set it on the tool. Try and get it all the way around. Finish them and bring you back when I'm getting on the next plate. Got them all set. I'm gonna wipe the excess off. Almost looks like I know what I'm doing here. So I'm doing the next one and just want to be generous with this. I've actually never used it, but a friend of mine has done some plumbing for me and he uses it all the time. So starting from this side and working my way over. I don't think it matters which direction you go from. I don't think you need to over tighten this. I'm just going to tighten it so that it's flat on that side, because not a lot of clearance between these two, so not a lot of clearance between the ports, so I'm going to just tighten it so it's flat. checking the heights to see if they're about the same height. And I think they are, so that's where I'm going to go. Take a little clean and break here because I'm getting a bit sloppy. Again, I'm going to try and make it so that they end up being level at the end of the tightening. One didn't have as much tension in order to be even, but I think it'll be just right. It'll be fine. There's plenty of joint compound on there. What I wanted to say is that you don't have to use a wrench. You can use an Allen key. On the inside, it's got the fitting for that. I think that's actually pretty neat. Not all of them have it. These don't actually look like the best fittings in the world. This fitting looks to be a better fitting because of the internal sleeve that will go in the hose to keep it nice and firm. But I like that these have the Allen key fitting on the inside. Gives you an extra way to tighten if you don't have the space, because you really don't have a lot of space here. It's about level. Now that's all 4 wheels. Port 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then you have the inlet, which is going to come from the tank, and the outlet can go really anywhere. You don't need to plumb it because all it is air going out. But to not have the loud sound of air dumping in the cab of the car, you would want to at least run a hose a couple feet into the engine compartment or something. Actually, I had to use a different fitting than the rest of them. My intentions were to just use all the same fittings, but I had to use this one, which actually came with my tank. But these nut heads or bolt heads or whatever you would call them are too big, where they were bumping into each other, and I didn't have enough space to fit it here and attach it. If you see, it's tight there, and I have them spaced just right. You see how little space there is. So this worked out though. And then I'm gonna plumb the outlet. Like I said, just because I don't want to have the air dumping inside and being loud. There's no reason for it. Oh, see, there's not even enough room here. I have to make sure that it is turned just right. So that one has to be flat on the bottom. Otherwise there's not enough room for the bottom one to spin. You see how tight it is? But that's it. It's completely plumbed. I'm just going to tighten it up and clean it up. And I'm not going to actually do the piping tonight, the air lines, just because it's getting dark. But this was half the battle, so I'll bring you back when it's time for that.